Hey everybody, this is Doug with Artfully. It's October, Halloween is just around the corner, and despite the fact that I have so many projects that I've got to get out of my shop, I cannot avoid trying to do something for Halloween. So I'm going to do my version of a monster in a box, but it's going to be kind of like a basement trap door kind of thing. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but let's go check it out. All right, for starters, I'm gonna take this old 2x8 and I'm gonna rip it down to 3-inch strips. I'm gonna make a cool wooden frame out of it. Boom! There's a wooden frame. Now you can screw it or you can nail it. I've got a pneumatic nailer, so that's what I did. Next, I'm gonna take some 2-inch angle iron and I'm gonna make a frame out of that. But I'm gonna use reverse 90s for a design effect. Boom! Metal frame, reverse 90s. You know, you don't even have to weld this because you're going to be lag bolting those pieces of metal into the wood. Now, if you have a welder and you want to make it nice and durable, you can go ahead and weld those corners. And next, I'm going to take this 1-inch square steel and I'm going to make another frame. Surprise, surprise. All right, cool. 1-inch frame is made. Let's add some bars to this. Okay, and now the bars are added. Now, because this is my version of a monster in a box, we need to make sure that we hide what's behind those bars. There. Spooky, rusty metal stuff. Gotta add a hinge. Not much of a door if you don't have a hinge. And now let's add some chains to give it that I've got something big and scary underneath this door, don't open it kind of look. Okay, so let's time out here for a second. Let's talk mechanical parts. So when I first started thinking about this project, I looked online to see what everybody else was doing with Monster in a Box. And they were using a windshield wiper motor. So that's what I picked up, a windshield wiper motor. So it's a nice little motor, it's pretty hardy, works off 12-volt battery, and then, you know, basically you have your gear that spins and you can add like an offset cog. Well, I started to use this and I realized, this is a little too big because of the depth of the trap door that I made. Well, so then I started thinking, what if I could use my drill, right? A drill might be a little bit thinner than that, so then I thought drill, but then I realized I actually had a rotisserie motor that I used for another project, and because I'm working on a project that has a bunch of gears, I actually had some gears and some chain laying around, so it was actually really easy for me just to use this rotisserie motor and some gears that I found. So let me show you kind of what I did. The rotisserie motor you can pick up on Amazon. I'll actually put a link down in the description there for you. I'll also put a link to a description to this windshield wiper motor if you want to go that route as well. What's nice about this is you can choose the direction that you want this to turn, clockwise or counterclockwise. You've got your on and off. It is an electric, so 110, but you can also set your speed. You have a variable speed here, which is kind of nice. What I did is I just kind of created like an offset gear that would bump the top and put it on a piece of wood. That way it had something solid to sit on top of. Now when I plug this in, and I'll turn this on and crank that sucker up. Then we'll drop this down. Now I took the chains off so that we could see what's going on here. One of the things that I want to point out, and if you go back a few frames here, you'll see that I added another layer of those 2x6s to kind of help bring up the trap door. I was about a ½ inch off in getting this done. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Okay, so you see that it is definitely going up and down. It's bouncing, but I need to secure this inside so that it doesn't move around. That's exactly what happened, is this moved around and wasn't able to keep doing what it needed to do. So that's the next part. We're going to secure the guts. So for this next part, we're going to turn this into a motion activated monster and a trap door. And to do that, I picked up a motion sensor light that I'm going to take the motion sensor off of. And to make some fun sound, I actually picked this up at the hardware store.
Open the door! Get me out of here! No! I'm not kidding!
That seems about right. Okay, your sensor has 3 wires. A neutral, this is a red, this is a black. Those are both hot lines. That went to the lights, and this would actually go to your power line when you hardwire this. So what I did is I took a small 6-foot extension, all right, and let me see if I can show you here. So I took one side of that little extension and I attached the red wire to one side and the black wire to the other. That connects the circuit. Your white wire then gets connected to your neutral on your plug or on your cord. So those 2 wires, basically, you're just inserting your neutral. Okay, so we took apart Mr. Bones. We don't need that anymore. This is the push switch, and if I were to
Open the door! Get me out of here!
Great.
No! I'm not kidding!
So now I don't necessarily need the push switch, but there's a way to activate the motion sensor here.
Let me out! Let me out of here!
And so all I have to do
I gotta get out! I gotta get out now!
is now put this switcher into the trap door. Okay, so to help amplify the sound, I added some wooden blocks to keep it up off
Please! Open
this piece of metal.
I have to get out! No! Open the door! Get me out of here! No! I'm not kidding!
Now I'm not sure if that's going to be able to be heard over the door slamming up and down, but we'll find out here in a little bit. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. It is greatly appreciated. I want to give a huge shout out to Barry and Marlene Rush, Judy Clothier, and Fun Kiss Artistic Creations. I'll see you in the next video.